This damn thing doesn't even freaking work. I'm just, doesn't even. Freaking work. Anyway. I can't shut it off. Okay. Here we go, guys. Woo! It's freaking. Oh my god. Hey, everybody, this is Rock Queens. Everyone coming at you live from my headquarters in Rocklahoma. It's Friday. And it's a scorcher out here. And it's literally Friday. It's Friday. Oh my god. It's like, ah! I bought this fan a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. This is like garbage. I have an ice bottle, which I need. I should have brought out my my ice pack for my back. I didn't do that. It's this scorcher out here, guys. It's 97 degrees out. 97. And it feels like 105 or more. We'll get through this, guys. We'll get through this. Hey, Jamie, what's up? It looks blurry. I don't know why. How about now? Working like a slave, huh? I feel for you, especially if you're working in this heat, right? Let me give you a hug, Jamie. I haven't seen you in forever, okay? Cyber hugs time. Love ya. Don't be working like a dog. It's not worth it. Really, it's not. But good to see you. I hope you feel my love. Oh, man. It's freaking hot, man. It's... I'm surprised the bugs aren't attacking me. And all that. I'm telling you. I love the summer. I just don't like the humidity and stuff. You know, I haven't done a live outside in a long time. And I said, well, I'm going to do it. And here I am, live outside on this Friday. It's 95 degrees here in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Is there a Fort Lickerdale? We used to call it Fort Lickerdale. Is there a place still in Fort Lauderdale named Jolly Roger? It's been years. It's been years. Actually, the band and I got kicked out of Fort Lauderdale because we were causing too much ruckus. Seriously, they gave us 1 hour. No, I'm sorry, not 1 hour. Was it 1 hour? They gave us 1 hour or whatever to get out of Dodge, to get out of Fort Lauderdale, and we got out of there. I got first place in a wet t-shirt contest in Fort Lauderdale too. And I was so proud. But yeah, I think they gave us either 1 hour or 2 hours or 1 day. I forget, but we just got the hell out of there. But, you know, yeah. I haven't been down Fort Lauderdale in years. So you know. But those were the days. Those were the days. As in capital D, capital A, capital Z, capital E. Oh my God. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well out there. I hope you are staying cool. I hope life's not dragging it down. I hope you're spreading your light instead of the darkness. I hope you're spreading positivity. I hope you are doing stuff for people. Maybe random acts of kindness to strangers. Like maybe opening up a door for somebody. That's a random act of kindness and stuff. Or giving somebody a water. You know that they're hot and just dazed and confused. Oh yeah, seriously. Yeah, those were the days. But, life is killing me. Hold on. Life is killing me, but my spirit is eternal and can't be hurt. That's right. That's right. Unless you're doing something awful to people and causing a lot of negative situations and all that stuff, then you're not. You're down. You're down there. You're in bad company with the devil, right? You know. I've been working my ass off with my stream. God speaks through people, guys. God speaks through people. When you don't think people are listening, or when you don't think God's listening or hearing your prayers, bam! It happens. Oh, awesome. All right, good. Thanks for the 411, Jamie. For the past few days, I know people are listening. I know people are watching. I know people are taking notice. I know that God's working in my life every day. Because a couple of days ago, I got a song from a friend, from an old friend, I should say. And I was moved. I was actually shaken. And I only knew this guy for 2-3 months tops. And this guy wrote a song about me. It was a song about me and my mission. And I did a live reaction a couple of days ago, and I was just blown away. I was blown away. I was like, oh my God, wow. He put in all my important points of when I talk about what my mission is, about, 988, if you guys are struggling, if you don't feel comfortable talking to me about your issues or whatever, I understand that. But if you dial 988, it's a suicide crisis lifeline. Call that. Pick up your phone, guys. I know it's 1,000 pounds, but he put in that, okay? And that talking point. I couldn't believe it. I still can't get over it. And when I was doing a live reaction to the song, Jim pops in saying, "You're about to cry, aren't you?" Shut up, Jim. And so I needed to hear that. I needed to see that. Motobomb, Virginia, was on my screen the other night too when I did that live reaction, and he said, "You're gonna make me cry." It gets you right here. And I know this is cliche, guys, but if I saved one person out of all this, it was worth it to me. And I mean that. And I know people, don't want to know about recovery. They're not into recovery. They're not interested in recovery or what I talk about on the stream or whatever. I get that, okay? I get that. Because there's a lot of things out there on YouTube I'm not interested in either. So I get it. But I come on here because I want to share my experience, strength, and hope with people. That they too can recover if they really want it that bad. You know what I'm saying? It took me a lot of time to get recovery. There's a breeze. There's more of a breeze by the wind than there is with this damn thing. Because I'm going to tell you something, guys. There's times where it's like, people aren't listening. People aren't coming on the stream. It's like, woe is me, woe is me. And it really gives you perspective on yourself. Like, what are you really doing this for? Is it for me? Or is it for you guys? I have to keep myself in check when it comes to that. It's for you guys. I mean, it's a win-win situation because when you talk about your issues with recovery, or it doesn't even have to be recovery, it could be just about, mental health issues, about depression, OCD, symptoms of, say, schizophrenia, whatever. It's helping me too. It helps me too. And we don't have to talk about recovery all the time, whatever. We don't. We talk about, songs, about what's going on in the world, about, I don't go by no script here. Everything's off the cuff. And I think a lot of people know that. I've been working with this guy for about a couple weeks and stuff, and we're trying to strategize for my channel. And he was talking about long form. And he was talking about these long form shorts that are popping up on his feed. He didn't even know these people, and they're popping up. And he says, if you can come up with something like that, maybe, And I told him, well, Streamlabs has a feature where I can do, like, say, my regular dimensions for YouTube, and then I could do it for, like, the vertical format, right? And I did that a few months ago. I was so confused. I said, no, screw this. I'm not doing it. But now it's coming up again. So, this weekend, I really have to come up and figure out how I'm going to do this long form. But I told him, I said, when I do my live, from outside, it's like that, like a long form. A lot of work. Antonio, if you're watching, brother, I appreciate your feedback. I'm taking it all in like a sponge. Everybody that I come across on here, they said, you look so professional. You even if it's off the script, I don't do it by like a teleprompter or whatever. And the one common denominator is this: I'm not fake. I'm raw. I'm unfiltered. And I'm approachable. And he even said to me the other day, he said to me, this is Antonio. He's like, even if a person's mad at you, you still take it in. Like, you still take in the constructive criticism and everything else and stuff. If it hurts, hey, and I see a lot of people that are on YouTube that are like scripted, and they follow, like it's all cookie cutter, right? We'll see, oh, if you get so many views, or no, if you're under so many views, do this, right? And then it's like a cookie cutter, right? Not me. Not me. I try to be authentic as I really can be. And I told you guys, my life is like an open book to you guys. 95% of the time. 5% is between me and God. I'm not ashamed of my past. I remember on Mixer, it's like, why do you bring this up for? You shouldn't bring up all your life history and stuff like that. Well, if it's to help somebody, I'll do it. There was one guy on Mixer, okay? He was a troll, and there was a few people on my stream and whatever and stuff, and I forget what we were playing. I don't know if it was Jackbox. Maybe it was like Battlefield 1. I don't know, right? So this guy, this troll, and I knew he came in my stream before on Mixer and stuff. He comes on and he was saying this. He's like, yeah, Rocket. Why don't you tell people that you were in jail, huh? Why don't you tell people that you were in jail? And I just laughed at him. So what? That's what happens if you're in addiction. Addiction will lead you to 3 things: jails, institutions, and death. And a lot of the other people that were in my stream, like, we know what you're trying to do. You're trying to, saying, oh, she was in jail. Oh, she's no good. Oh, let's unfollow her and go somewhere else and stuff. It didn't happen. It backfired on him. I can understand if I was still actively in addiction and you found something out, say a couple months ago or whatever, okay? And saying, oh, look, see? She's still in addiction and stuff because she got locked up in Oklahoma. I'm just saying. I'm just using this as an example. Nope. In fact, I think my it was back in 2004 when I was arrested last time. Or no, maybe it was 2004. I don't even fucking care. I tell you the truth. The one thing is, when my husband and I go out, I don't have to look over my shoulder every 3 seconds to see if the cops are going to arrest me for a warrant. It feels good not to look behind my shoulder every 30 seconds to see, oh, I wonder if they're going to get me for a warrant today. Not going to happen. I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. And if it does happen and stuff, I'm sure things will work out. There was a streamer, I get the streamer's name. He's in recovery. Actually, he was in prison, but I forget his name. I have to look him up again. But he was honest with his viewers, saying, guess what? And the warrant happened in Oregon. And he doesn't live in Oregon anymore. He lives, I forget. I'll get the streamer's name. But he was honest and saying, oh, guess what? I might have to, be in jail for 12 months or 6 months or whatever because they found a warrant on me, or and he went to court. The prosecutor stood up for him. I had some prosecutors stand up for me too. Because God only knows I could have been away for a long time. Okay? But it happens like that where you get yourself clean and sober and then you find out you have a warrant or whatever, and it's like you have to really stand up for yourself and face the consequences. It happens. And usually, the judge will review your case and to see if you got into trouble and to see where you're at now and whatever. And usually they'll say, okay, we're not going to lock you up. Go. Just go. Keep doing good. Keep getting your nose clean. Hold on, guys. But, I can sleep easy at night now, knowing that I don't have any warrants on me or nothing. It's freaking hot. I'm not. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I think a tree actually fell. Or a branch or something. But I'm on the hot seat. Literally, I am on the hot seat in this weather. For you guys, it's Friday. Friday. I'm sizzling out here. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, let me take a drink of water. Oh, and this water's warm. I can't use this because it doesn't do anything for me out here. I have this on full blast, right? Is it doing it for me? No. I have another thing that wraps around my neck. I don't know where that is. I think it's in my studio. Yeah, this is crap. All because I was desperate, because I wanted to do more live outsides here, and I wanted to get something like this, and nope, nothing. was even going to get a swimming pool, not a big, gigantic swimming pool, like, you know, how they have a kiddie pool. But it's actually, they have one for adults, but it's just like a lap pool, right? I was going to get something like that. It was like $50 on Amazon, right? And I said, well, I think I'm going to get it. But then I was thinking, well, the next day, if I wanted to go in that pool, then you'll see a lot of, like, fur and God knows what else in that, right? Or leaves. And I said, no, forget it. I'm not going to get it. Oh, my God. But I was thinking about it. They have a pool over there because we really don't have anything in common with them. And it's Jim's cousin. They have a pool. But yeah. Yeah, we don't even talk to them or anything, you know. Because they smoke pot, they do their own thing. And that's okay, you know. They do their own thing too over there, right? They hang out with Jim's cousin. Oh, well, that's what they do. But let's see here. Can you see my shirt? Of course we can, Vic. Like, yep. Smart, sexy, sober, and savage. That I am. That I am. I'm still trying to be like, oh my God. So, why am I out here sweat my ass off? Well, I want to have a little fun with you guys. Right? Live outside. And it's a Friday. I'm sizzling out here, but I'm on the hot seat. So if you have any questions for me, I will answer them because I'm on the hot seat. Ha ha. I'm on the hot seat. I'm really sweating my ass off. Really, but you know. It's okay though. I don't see any of the, you know, like Juniper or Panther or Mama out and stuff. They're probably underneath the house to say cool. You know. Even the cats are smarter than me. I just stayed inside and did the stream from inside. But oh no, we couldn't do that. Oh no. So how you guys doing out there? I hope life's not dragging you down. You know, I hope you're doing the right thing out there, you know, for other people. You know, uplifting them, giving them encouragement. if you're going through mental health issues and or suicidal ideations or homicidal ideations, tell them to get help, that you'll help in any way you can. Give them the 988 number, especially if you're a veteran. I salute you. Thank you for your service, guys. I salute all the veterans, past and present. If you're going through a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder or whatever, call 988 and press 1 to talk to a trained counselor that was in the military or is in the military. My mother-in-law, wished that there was resources for her son Dusty when he killed himself. And she felt guilty every day after that until the day she died. But I have a feeling she was still guilty. She was still feeling guilty. But she met Dusty at the pearly gates, and he says, "Ma, I love you. I miss you, and it's okay." Because that's how she was. She just felt guilty about everything. It wasn't enough. Just like how I feel at times. I feel like I don't do enough. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is this: put a cold bottle on my forehead and stuff like that, and try to cool off. Whew. All right. So, I've been thinking about certain things we can do on my stream, on our stream. This is not just my stream, guys, it's your stream too. I might be the owner of the channel or whatever, but, I, along with you and 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 you, are trying to create a wildfire of change to diminish the darkness in the world. And I know we're not going to get all of it, guys, but we're going to fight like hell to get rid of it. We are. No matter how hard the climb is, right? We're still going to do it. Because we have that fire in us. We don't like what we see on the internet, out in real life, out in the real world, right? So, I bought these off of Amazon, called Ask Me Anything. And they were cheap and all that. So, if it feels like, there's a long lolly, like a plateau on my stream or whatever, guess what? I got this. And I actually told Antonio about these. Anything that would help the stream out, right? So that's what I did. And, damn fucking. Anyway, it is a hot one, guys. And I'm on the hot seat on this Friday! Sizzling Friday! And I'm gonna open this ice bottle and actually drink some cold water. Unfreaking believable. And I've been out here on hot days like this, and for some reason, I'm just like, it's not good at all. And you have to watch it too. When you're on any kind of medication, and I'm going to say this, I am not a certified drug and alcohol counselor, I am not a licensed therapist. But for me, or maybe for you, if you're on medication for anything, you know, if you're out in the heat or out in the sun, you have to watch it, because what you're taking can affect you. Like, you get sunburned easily or whatever, you know. So, but whew. All right, so I'm gonna draw one card. If I can get this open, that is. And this is just random. Random. And the first card is, ask me anything. Alright, so the first card is, what is the difference between guilt and shame? Is there such a thing as healthy guilt or shame? Oh, God. What a way to start off this. I gotta answer it right. What is the difference between guilt and shame? I don't think there's really not any difference. And all that. Because you feel guilty about something and you feel ashamed about something. So it goes hand in hand. That's what I think anyway. Is there such a thing as healthy guilt or shame? I'm trying to think. I don't know. Is there you know what? I think there is, to a certain extent. I think there is. Like, say, all right, so the second part of the question is there such a thing as healthy guilt or shame? Yes, I feel like there is, in a good way. Especially if, say, you know, you want to do something on the stream. Or you want to do something for somebody and you forgot about it and stuff, and you feel guilty for not doing it sooner, or you feel guilty that you know, that you didn't do it for that person and all that. But I think, like, for me, I'll never forgive myself about my kids, because I feel like I let them down, even though that happened years ago and nothing did. You know, I'm talking about like when my mother took custody of my son, or I feel guilty and that my daughter got adopted out of the family, but at least she had a better life with her adopted parents. You know, but sometimes you just have to let go. Just that's in the past. But for me, when it comes to that with my kids, it's like I can't let it go. I don't know. What a question to start off with, huh? I'm going to do another one. Yeah, another question. Another question here. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. Okay. What insights are you gaining about yourself? What insights am I... All right, so that's the question. What insights are you gaining about yourself? See, this is it about the streaming process? Is it about recovery in general? Or what? Well, about my recovery, okay, I'm going to ask this again. What insights are you gaining about yourself? All right, with my gift of recovery, I feel like I'm too hard on myself. I don't do enough. I feel like a failure at times still, even though I've gained so much through the streaming experience and all that stuff. I procrastinate a lot. Sometimes I question myself if I'm doing the right thing or not. So I judge myself. I'm like my worst critic and stuff, and everything has to be so, and everything has to be right, and everything has, and that's why, like, with certain, like, when I think that's why I just love to do live streams instead of just doing videos. So I really don't have to worry about editing that much or whatever. And I just, wear my heart on my sleeve a lot of times, and that's why I'm so unscripted and so raw when it comes to certain things, and that's why I'm so blunt, honest about my recovery and about addiction, about other topics that come up. I'm still trying. That's just about it. Progress over perfection. You're gonna see the real me and stuff. I'm not. I get, and you know what? And all right, yeah, we're gonna get. Like, I see other streamers, right? And at times you're reading off a script and they're not live. They're just, they're following everybody else. Or say on Twitch, there's a lot of these thoughts, these, only fangirls or whatever that, they don't have any self-esteem or whatever. And they wonder why, there's guys that don't want to really date them or go further into a relationship is because of what they do. And it's like, I think there was a time where there was a girl named Amaranth, and she still does it and whatever, okay? And I would get so angry at her and all that because of what she's doing. What she, huh? Sorry, Frogzilla is live. Just saying hi. I didn't know you were on. I'll try to jump in. I'll come here, Ryder. Let me give you a hug. It's okay. I understand. I understand. Oh, it's okay. I'm really craving another jar of your peaches. Not those kind of peaches, wink, wink. Oh, God. See, we have to come up with a schedule for everybody. Like, what the best time for everybody, like, say, like, for Motobomb, it's like, what, 9:30 Eastern time. And then there's, what, Sick Bastard. And then, you know what I mean? So nobody runs into everybody's stream. You understand what I'm saying? And my ass is hurting. You know why? Because I'm on the hot seat. But we have to have, like, a schedule. It's only right that you know, if you had a schedule, like, say, Frogzilla at, what time is it? At 6 o'clock, he's on. And then, you know, say, from 6 to 8. And then, say, from 8 to 10 is, like, me. And then, or what, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion. You know? I'm sweating like it's shit. But the thing too is, you know, if people can only do it at that time and it runs into your time, oh well, it happens. But if there's some leeway, you can, you know, do some wiggle room and just maybe push it back a little bit or forward a little bit, you know. Yeah. But I appreciate you, Ryder and Frogzilla. You've been good friends. Same with Dean and with Old Mac and Old Mac. I gotta say about Old Mac, you know. God puts people in our lives for a reason. Whether you believe it or not. You know. But also with this question, what insights are you gaining about yourself? Well, just recently. Right? About, I don't think nobody's really listening to me. I don't think anybody's really watching me. I don't think any, you know, I don't, you know, just like the other day, I got that gift of the song from Old Mac that blew me away. And people are listening and stuff. I am making a difference. I am making an impact. I am. You are what? Oh, you're listening. Yeah, you're listening. You're always watching. I love you. And I put him through so much. Last night and stuff, when we were in bed, it was like a death cage match or something. I don't know what's up with that. But, somebody always is. Without you even knowing it. So, yeah. That's card number 2 for this. I've always been insightful about myself. You know, a lot of professionals from my past told me that, like, you know, I should be a counselor and all that stuff. And, you know, when I speak, you know, it's like I say it with conviction because I know for a fact that I should have been dead years ago, or I was wrong with a lot of things in my life. I did take responsibility for. And I didn't say, oh, woe is me, I had a rough life. Yeah, I did have a rough life, but I put myself through it. My addiction put myself through it. It could, you know, everything happens for a reason, and you know what? Everything comes in its own time. Because I've had people say to me, up to my face actually, well, if I knew my kids were going to be taken away, I would have got myself clean and sober just like that. It didn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? Believe me, I tried. But something wanted to keep me going. And besides, I was doing it for everybody else except for myself. And when I did for myself, that's when everything clicked. So if you're in a situation like that where you're going to lose your kids and you're trying desperately and stuff, you know, do what they tell you to do. And if you relapse and whatever, and then he said, well, you have to go to rehab, you have to do this, or, you know what? But you have to do it for yourself. Even if your kids are in foster care or away with other family members or whatever, you have to do it for yourself. I went to a rehab, and I talk about this rehab a lot. I talk about this gentleman a lot. He made an impact on me. He was an older gentleman. His name was Jim Mahoney. He's dead now. But he was an old timer, and he used to go to this AA meeting at this Presbyterian church in Parsippany, New Jersey. Okay? An old timer. And yeah, he would say at meetings, yeah, I'm Jim Mahoney, I'm a grateful alcoholic. Which he was, okay? So, I went to Turning Point. Now, Turning Point was in Verona, New Jersey, Cedar Grove, New Jersey, and it was like it was a part of like a county mental institution and stuff. I didn't go to that institute. You know, it was like a county. It was part of a county hospital. Okay, but Turning Point was separate from that. All right. I went there twice. The first time I ran off, and all these counselors, there was 2 counselors running after me, and my ex, my boyfriend and stuff, you know, sped away like a getaway car, right? But the second time I went, you know, I was doing it for everybody else at that time, but I think, you know, I was trying to do it for me. And on Sundays, now, Turning Point is a very strict rehab. It's hardcore. Okay? Us girls couldn't fraternize with the guys. Even to look at them, we couldn't do it. Because if they caught us, you would be dragged out and off the property you went. That's how strict they were. Okay? On Sundays, they had this big meeting in this room. And the guys are sitting over there, way over there, and us girls are sitting over, you know, by the podium. And I was in the front seat, pretty much. And here comes Jim Mahoney. And he's like, oh, look who's here, huh? And he shook my hand and, you know, stuff like that. He said, oh, what a surprise, huh? Behind him, on that wall, was a sign. Why are you here? Why are you here? Most of these people in that Turning Point were there for the courts. They were mandated there. They were mandated there for like 6 months to a year for 18 months. I wasn't mandated there. Right? I'm sweating. So the meeting starts and stuff like that, and we go through our readings, you know, how it works, the steps, the 12 and 12, you know, the steps, the traditions, you know, and all that stuff, and all that, and he's like, again, I'm Jim Mahoney, I'm a grateful alcoholic, and he looks right down at me. I knew he was going to do this. Why are you here? I'm like, well, you know, I'm here to get myself clean. Well, you better think again why you're here. And all this other crap. I mean, it wasn't crap, but you know what I mean. You know, and when I was in rehabs and detoxes, whatever, I mean, there's times where I wish I wasn't there, and plus a lot of things that they were saying went in one ear and out the other, or I just didn't have, like, you know, the cotton in my mouth. I had it in my ears, you know. And, but to me, Turning Point was the best rehab. I actually got close with Doc Wheeler, who passed away. He founded Turning Point, and they have different branches now in Secaucus. I think they have one in Newark now. They have, and whatever, and but I used to play ping pong with him, Doc Wheeler, and stuff, and he was very impressed with my skills. Let me tell you, but yeah, I mean, you think about all the people. Well, I think about all the people that influenced me when I was on my journey through recovery. And some of them are not here anymore, and some are here, but like my mother, you know, she's in a nursing home back in Jersey, and she did a lot of tough love with me. And she played a big part in my recovery. She still does. But got one fly. I am really hot, guys. I am hot, and I'm sizzling out here. I'm not opening up my Java Monster because, and it's triple shot, because I know it's going to dehydrate me even more. But the one thing I could say for myself is, I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do and stuff when it comes to my recovery, when it comes to this stream. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, too. Okay? And it's the truth. You hear any big streamer views don't count. Views don't matter. Just keep doing what you're doing and just let it snowball. And if you have to tweak some things, tweak them. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't fix it with duct tape and some wires and some Java Monster cans. Don't. I'm just saying. Don't fix it. Just keep doing what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. It's not about me, guys. It's not. But I know I am determined to and committed to the Queen's Light Brigade and the wildfire, and and everything comes in its own time. And I know for me, sometimes I lose patience. Ask my husband. He knows. He loses patience and stuff with me. I've been through a lot of bullshit. But if you're genuine and you want to see that your stream makes an impact, keep going with it. Ignore everybody else saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that, whatever. What feels right to you, do it. Don't compromise on your values, though, or your morals. You shouldn't compromise on that, because when you do, then that's when it all goes to left field. You don't want to do that. You have to stand firm. Just like with me, I'm not going to go on Kick. You know why? You know why that is? Because it's backed by a casino. And gambling is an addiction. So I'm not going to, even though I might get views on Kick or whatever, I'm still not going to go there. Because let's say if I go on Kick and say somebody's struggling with addiction or whatever, and they see, like, say, a gambling stream by my stream, and they're like, oh, look at that, let me just check this out, and then it'll click something and off to the races they go. So I am looking at a couple other places, though, but we'll see. It's really hot, guys. I am frying. It is Friday. Friday. Yeah, I'm like. I feel like a lump of dough in a frying pan, and I'm almost fried bread. You won't get that. You won't get that joke. But a lot of natives around Oklahoma will, because they love fried bread. So I feel like I'm a lump of dough in a frying pan, which is my hot seat, and I'm turning into fried bread. Ha 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 ha. I really am. Maybe when it gets all cooler out, I'll do it. But I can't. Oh, wait. Oh, by the way, guys. By the way, prison. My guys from prison. My boys from the Tampa Bay area. My guys from prison. You know how I'm the lifer of prison. They have a message. They always have a message about addiction, about mental illness. They're getting that message out there about addiction and mental illness. They're still rolling with the punches, still going strong. They're on tour now. And guess what? Today, guys, today, go on Prison's channel. Check out the song Pillar of Salt. New video out. Pillar of Salt by Prison. Check them out, guys. I'm telling you, I love those guys. They know it. I wish they would come to Oklahoma. Come to Tulsa. Because Tulsa has a rich history in music. One day, I guess, right? One day. They want me to come over to Tampa. They want me to come jam with them. Might take him up on that offer soon. Who knows, right? Probably in the fall when it's like cooler. Because I've been in Florida too in the summer, okay? And forget it. So check out Johnny and the Boys with their new song, Pillar of Salt. Brand spanking new video called Pillar of Salt. Check them out. Maybe we'll check them out live. Inside though, not here. I'm just like, oh my God. Woo! It's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Just like that Buster Poindexter song. It's hot, hot, hot. Damn. There's a little breeze out, right? Low wind, right? Nothing. This thing, don't ever buy anything like this off of Amazon. It's junk. The laugh's on me. The joke's on me. Doesn't do anything. Nope. Do not buy anything like this on Amazon. Junk. Just junk. Hey, Rexus, what's up? Thanks for joining me on my stream. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? I hope you're not frying on this Friday. What do I think of MAGA? What do you think of MAGA? I think a lot of people in MAGA, or hold on. I think a lot of people in MAGA are actually disappointed in Donald Trump. You are? I'll be right over. I'll be right over. If you have some coleslaw, potato salad, I'll be right over. And if you have the air conditioning blasting, better yet. So what do you think of MAGA? Today, Donald Trump, you do? Alright, so what about MAGA do you like? And you love life. Well, I'm glad you do. So do I. So what do you think about Donald Trump? Listen, guys, listen, you brought this topic up. And we're being respectful here. You know, whatever you say about maybe, Donald Trump or MAGA or whatever, hey, that's okay. That's your opinion. You know, I respect anybody's opinion on anything, whether if I like it or not. Because that's how it should be. You see? He's a handsome guy, that's all I care about. Are you trolling me? Because I feel like you're trolling me. Yeah. I feel like you are. Just by saying what you're saying. I know you are. Let's bring it down a notch. And just by what you're saying, hon. Let's bring it down a notch. Let's clean the slate off. All right. So, Rexus, how are you? Let's be human beings right now. How are you right now? Without trolling. Well, good to hear. Good to hear some positivity. Are you enjoying your Friday? Mine's hot. Friday, right? FRYday, Friday. And I'm on the hot seat. It's hot. It's hot. But I came out here anyway. I hope you have good air conditioning going. See how simple that was, Rexus? You don't have to troll me like that. I forgive you. We could just have a good conversation. Like what we just did right there. Right? And I bet you weren't expecting that, right? What am I up to today? Probably working on my stream. I don't know. It has to do with my stream. Yep, well, this is what I'm doing right now with you, right? Relaxing. Well, not relaxing. I'm just frying out here and chit-chatting with you. I enjoy getting to know people. I can have a laugh or two. I have a good sense of humor. You have to have a good sense of humor in this life. And believe me, I don't take myself too seriously either. So, where are you from? I'm here in Oklahoma. I'm originally from Jersey. I know you have a sense of humor. Well, I think a lot of people do when they come on here. When they see me, you know. Austria? Like the Sound of Music? The hills are alive with the sound of music. Moo! It's actually Saturday here already. What time is it? I don't have the time. I actually had a couple of friends go into Austria. And they went into the church where they actually filmed The Sound of Music, the movie musical, The Sound of Music. And that's one of my favorite films too, by the way. Oh, all right, yeah. I think it's, what, around 6 my time? It's hot time here. It's fry time. But what's my favorite movie? My favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz. But The Sound of Music, the musical, is one of my favorites also. And in that movie, well, there's a couple songs I like from The Sound of Music. It's Climb Every Mountain, The Hills Are Alive, and Cuckoo, Auf Wiedersehen. Edelweiss. Edelweiss is another song I love from that movie. You know why? Because my grandmother used to sing that song. Edelweiss. And if you're from Austria, you know what that is. Climb every mountain, for every stream, follow every rainbow till you find your dream. High five there, buddy. Bam! Now we're having a pleasant conversation, aren't we? They actually had a live version of The Sound of Music on American TV here on NBC. And what is my dream? My dream is to have a fulfilling life. I think everybody still searches, even though they have the dream. You know what I mean? Even Donald Trump still has dreams. Okay, we're not going to go there, but you know what I mean. Yeah. My dream is just to be happy with my husband, living in Oklahoma, and building a stream that helps people. Yeah, I do too. Very chaotic in this world right now, right? I certainly agree. When I was living in the 70s and the 80s and all that, hey, 24, what's up, buddy? Yes, it is. Hold on. All right, hold on. Rekus and 24. Hey, let's have a hug. You ready for my hug? Here we go. And you feel so hot. Oh my God, you feel so hot and warm, and oh my God. Oh, what happened there? What? Hold on. Something happened with my... Why is this so... Oh, wait. close. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Create hot. Oh my God. Why am I so... Nope, we don't want to do that. Hold on. You felt that? Okay. I don't know why my... You're like... Now you're really seeing the real me. Scary, isn't it? Real scary. All right, wait. Nope, that's not it. Oh, there. See, now it's changed. Jeez. Yeah. So 2x4. 2x4. Yeah, I need a 2x4 in the head. Bam. All right. No. Yeah, Rex's. This is 2-4. 2-4. This is Rex's. Everybody gets to introduce each other to everybody and all that, and you know, I'm hot. You can tell by my, you know, how. Look at my face, how my cheeks are, right? But when I was from, I was born in like the 70s, okay? Our generation had it good. There was no wars. We were all in peace. Yeah, there was threats of, you know, nuclear war or, you know, and with the Iron Curtain and whatever. But we had it good. Excuse me. But we had it good. There's 2-4. 2-4, just say hi to Rex's and Rex. Well, he already said that. You know. No, I don't think so. You know why it didn't lose its charm? Because I'm in it. Wink, wink, you get it? No. I'm in it. There's a lot of, like, have you ever seen, well, of course you haven't, because, you know, but you might see it on Netflix or whatever, like, oh, your wife's birthday! Well, happy birthday! Happy birthday! I hope you're treating her like a princess! Tell her to come by the camera so I can give her a hug. That's gonna be awkward. I think, what the fuck is this? 21 forever, baby. 21 forever. Right? Yeah. Tell her to come by the camp. You know, I'll give you the hug, and you transfer the hug to her, okay? Here we go. Oh, there we go. Happy birthday. I hope your birthday wishes come true. Yes. I hope you're treated like a princess, wifey. Enjoy your day. There you go. Oh, no, what? No. I didn't... Crap. Sorry. There. Rex's, it wasn't my fault. When I try to do something good for people, it always backfires. You're not in trouble. Yeah. So what I tell people is 21 forever, baby. 21 forever, right? And I say 21 forever, but 21 years, 21 and 33 years experience. That's what you tell people. 21 forever. Did you bake a cake for her? Yeah, so Rexus, when we were growing up, when I was growing up, we had it good. It was simpler. You know, there's no internet. You know, it's altogether different. You know, and I grieve for this world because after 2020, after the pandemic and stuff, everything changed for everybody. Because on the news they kept on saying the new normal. The new normal. Just like what they're trying to do here on YouTube or other sites like X or whatever, right? And it's all demonic too. It's all 1984-ish. Yeah! You're a model? Oh, are you a model? Were you like a Burt Reynolds kind of model? Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about? It all started when the internet started. That's when everything just came, bam. That's when George Bush was talking about the New World Order back in the 90s. And then the internet happened, what, 1995, 1996? And our kids, well, my kids grew up with the internet. Right? So their brains are all, forget it. The next generation after our kids is just forget it. It all starts at home. All starts at home. I'm sorry, guys. I had to. They, the powers that be, want this whole thing to happen. We can go on and on and on about it. You see some channels on YouTube with Clippy on it. You remember Clippy? When Microsoft had their operating systems on a computer, you had Clippy. It would help you with certain things, like how to write an email or how to put stuff in folders or whatever. And Clippy never took information from us or tried to sell us something. Clippy was just Clippy, even though he was annoying and everything else. And I forgot to put Clippy on my profile. We had to do a lot of pushback, guys. We had to do a lot of pushback because big tech runs Washington now. It always has for a while. But now it's just getting too 1984-ish. Orwellian. I'm just saying, guys. But we don't have to talk about this. You know, let's have a light-hearted conversation about whatever you want to talk about. You know, well, I'm frying here. And I got bit by something and I'm like bleeding. I'm not bleeding to death, but whatever. Yeah, so, oh. How could it come that far? Hi, Dark Friends, what's up? How could it come that far? As far as technology? About, like, the New World Order? The generation only runs around with their eyes on their phone. Oh, this generation, like, talk about your generation, right? It all starts at home. I have friends that actually they bought, I'll give you one example. I had a friend, Valerie, back in Jersey, okay? And she bought a used iPad on Facebook Marketplace. It was used, right? And she gave it to her young daughter, Jessie. So every time I would call her up and talk to her, whatever, Jessie would cry, and she said, "Hold on, Vic, I had to change the video on her iPad." You're 65, huh? And you're still alive and kicking, right? Thanks for joining me on my stream. I truly appreciate it. So you've seen a lot similar to what I saw in my life, right? To have her engaged so she can still talk to me on the phone. I remember when I was in my addiction, and I would put on, I mean, I had a VHS cassette player, right? I would put in Beauty and the Beast, Thomas the Tank Engine, The Lion King, whatever, so I could do my thing while they're being babysat by a VHS machine. There's even phones out for 1-year-olds. It's ridiculous. For 1-year-olds. Now people are saying this is enough for the phones. Now if you go on Amazon and if you look up dumb phones, you'll see the flip phones and all that stuff. People are going back to their landlines now because they don't want to be tracked. They're so sick of everything. Sorry, I can't. Yeah. So was my husband, actually. I wasn't married to him at that time, but, you know, I think, but. And you're over it, right? The temptation's still there, right? I'm not trying to, you know, trigger it, but, you know, it's just like with gambling addicts, right? Now they have, you know, poker rooms and casinos online and, you know. Well, good for you. High five there, buddy. I know it's difficult. I never went through that addiction, but addiction is addiction. Because it all, with your pleasure center, it all affects your pleasure center right and back, where you get that euphoric high, and yeah. I know a guy, well, I'm like an acquaintance to this guy, where he's a part of a group that I belong to, and he's off the internet completely, and he uses his phone, and I'll call in to talk to us in the group, and that's it. Yeah. Look at Disney. Look at that Miss Rachel. You don't know what's on YouTube or these cartoons anymore, or these movies that come out. I bet you Walt Disney's rolling around in his grave with all this crap that's going on. That's why, if you're a parent, you're responsible for that kid. You have to make sure what they're watching is not woke stuff. You know what I mean? But they don't. You know why? And you know why too. It's because they're on their phones too. They're so busy on TikTok and doing their selfies and their TikToks and all this other crap. And they wonder why these kids are acting the way they are. You know? And now in California, a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken, I wish I was in my studio so I could show you guys this, where Gavin Newscomb, and I'm going to call him Newscomb, is going to sign a bill saying your kid can be raised by anyone. And that's why I want to go back in my studio and stuff, because, you know. Well, in a way, you know what, I'm going to say this. Hold on. Yeah, Newscomb. Watch this video get shadow banned. I don't give a shit if it is or not. I tell you the truth. Hold on. I have to. I'm frying out here. It's hot. But I do it for you guys. All for you. We haven't done a live stream in a long time outside, so that's why, you know. They're woke. They sold their souls to the devil pretty much, you know, like all, you know, like Hollywood and stuff. But like I'll give you an example. Now, I met my husband on Xbox, of all places, in 2015, okay? And he never had a cell phone. And I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but eventually he had to have a cell phone because he was going to drive from here to Jersey, 1,400 miles. Right? So, he got rid of the cell phone because he didn't want to be tracked. You know, it was garbage and all this stuff. Now that we're married, he has a cell phone. His cell phone is always by his side. And he watches prepping stuff, he watches this and that, whatever, okay? Now he can't live without the cell phone. I can. I can leave my cell phone in my studio or on the kitchen table or wherever. It doesn't bother me. But with him, he has it laying right next to him on his nightstand besides him. It's my camera, Vic. Yeah! It's your camera. You can do what you want with it. But, you know, I'm just saying, I don't have this on all the time. You know? You're so against cell phones and stuff. And of course, and hold on, guys, hold on. We needed cell phones, okay? Because of my back issues, okay? If I had to go through a panic attack and stuff. I truly believe, I don't know this. You remember the Tea Party? It was like the Republican Tea Party. They were trying to branch off of the Republican Party. And what? I think it stemmed from that. I don't know. I think it's from all these dinosaurs in the Democratic Party that started the whole thing. But there are Democrats like Cortez or that Alexandria Cortez. She's very far left. So is Bernie Sanders. Well, it's not going to be us. And that's why I think Nancy Pelosi's still wanting to stay in. It's all about money. It's all about insider trading, whatever. This is the thing. Yeah, but freedom is only an illusion. Go look at George Carlin's definition of freedom. I wish George Carlin was still alive today. He was a comedian, but he was also a philosopher in a lot of ways, and what he talked about, what he joked about was true. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. It's sad. And I'll tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now. When Donald Trump had Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, and that Japanese bank president for a press conference, I knew something was up. And then when he announced he was going to allocate $450 billion in AI, I knew that it was game over. Game over. I like fooling around with AI. I like having fun with it, whatever. But I know the dark side of it too. And the way the world population is now, there's studies saying that the world population is getting less and less and less because of all this AI technology and all that other crap. The ideology of the wokeness and all this stuff. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. The thing about it is if they're going to keep doing what they're going to do. They don't care. They had their agenda all planned out. Yeah. They're talking about like Russia or Ukraine or what. They're like third world countries. Now we're becoming a third world country day by day. A lot of people that transition into how they felt when they were 3 years old, they're detransitioning back. Hey, brown chicken, what's up? Cluck, 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 cluck. How you doing? I hope you're not being fried in this weather. You get what I'm saying? I love you, Queen. You want a hug? All right, everybody. All right, Prince, Chicken, everybody on here. What? Time for a cyber hug. Incoming. Thanks, Brown Chicken, for showing up here. It makes my day. Dark Prince, we're having a good conversation. Let's keep it going. I appreciate you too. You know, I love having conversations like that. I appreciate you all. Just by you being here, guys, is enough. Just by you being here is enough. And I thank you. There you go. Oh, no. Woo. Hold on. Oh, you... Well, we're talking about hot topics. You know, we're talking about wokeism, about, our freedoms being taken away. They're talking about mental illness, addiction. Yeah. That's all we're talking about. If I sub, what? Do I get one of those blue wrenches? I don't know. All right, hold on. Wait. Am I here? I apologize, guys. I don't know what I pushed. Surprise! I'm back. I scared you, didn't I? I scared you. Now all right. I'm sorry. I don't know what I pushed. Hey, Droid, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to my stream on this Friday. Friday, meaning F-R-Y. I'm sizzling here on my hot seat. All right. If you sub, you have to be here for a while. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. And Brown Chicken, I know you, okay? I'm not, all right? But the thing is, like, isn't this your, like, first stream? No, I'm not. I've been in recovery from crack and heroin since 2004, alcohol since 2011. And no, this is not a joint, it's this. California sober. I don't believe in it. Because to me, a drug is a drug is a drug is a drug. But I'm going to tell you this, though. Hold on. If people smoke it, okay, my in-laws smoke it. Oh boy, they do they, okay? I can smell it sometimes here. I don't care. You know? I'm just saying. I mean, I go into a group like, like the duct tape group or the coffee, clan group or whatever, and they smoke pot right, on the screen or whatever. That's them. Does Moto, Sick, and them come over? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But like I said, if you smoke pot, that's on you. Oh, yes, it does. It will cost you your life sometimes, right? If you know that. I can't. Oh my God. What? I've had friends that died from addiction. I should have been dead years ago. All right. All right, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. I'm getting like bombarded here. I'm trying. I apologize. You guys, listen. Like with me, I'm old school and stuff like that. When it comes to pot and stuff, to me, they're pushing their agenda when it comes to certain things, okay? Because one drug can trigger another drug, okay? Well, thank you! I appreciate you, okay? And eventually you will. I promise you. Okay? I had to figure out how to do it. You know? But yeah, like, it took me a long time for me to get clean and sober. I want a new drug. The one that doesn't make me sick. Or how about, you gotta have to face it, you're addicted to drugs. Robert Palmer song. You gotta have to face it, you're addicted to love. And just switch it. That song back in the day said a lot, right? Dr. Feelgood, Motley Crue. The Needle and the Spoon by Neil Young. Master of Puppets, Metallica. To me, Master of Puppets epitomizes addiction. I want drugs out of my life completely. Was addicted to nicotine for years and got ill from it. I understand what you're saying about nicotine too. Okay? Yeah, and the DARE program, there's a lot of controversy when it comes to that too. There's a lot of controversy how that came about too, the DARE program. It was basically a spy program. We can go into that. But with this, when I'm in so much pain with my back and all that, I do smoke like a chimney. I'll admit that, okay? I do smoke one after the other, okay? And I cough up a lung or two at times. You can ask Jim, my husband. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you just like, forget it. It would blow out your eardrums. That's how well my coughs are sometimes. I'm not proud of it, and I want to quit. My father died when I was 16, okay? He died in the hospital, but me want my mother to get him a carton of cigarettes, Winston Lights. Okay? He was allowed at that time to smoke cigarettes in the hospital, even though he was dying from everything. Okay? This is the only vice I have. You know? And even though it's not doing anything for me, it's making me sicker. I know you guys are saying stuff, and I'm not trying to ignore you. Yeah, you know. Hopefully I will get rid of this habit once and for all, but these things get more expensive for no reason. Actually, there is a reason. What are you talking about? Like with a cigarette tax? Or how they want to legalize recreational marijuana? It's all for the state. To get better schools, to get better infrastructure and all that bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's for them. You know. Because back in the 70s, when they start building Atlantic City and Jersey, they're saying, oh, it's going to be good for the schools. You know, all the revenue, the casinos are going to come in with the taxes for the state. It's going to help with the school systems. It's going to help with the infrastructure. It's going to do it didn't do shit. I'm from Jersey. Can't you tell? I'm from Jersey, originally from Jersey. You can take the girl out of Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out of the girl. You should have known that. Come on. Forget about it. And then I'm here in Oklahoma, and everybody knows I'm not from around here. Believe me. You're a cheesehead. How do you feel about Aaron Rodgers and the quarterback situation? You're nothing compared to what we are in Jersey. You love Oklahoma women? Yeah, they're a breed of their own, I'll tell you that much. Legend to legend to legend, all we do is have great quarterbacks. You know what, Brett Favre? There's Brett Favre, and my son used to love, Brett Favre. He used to love Brett Favre and stuff. I used to like the Philadelphia Eagles. You love old women, huh? That's not a bad thing, right? Treat them good, though. You better treat them good. Believe me, if I wasn't treated good, I wouldn't be sitting here. Hold on, guys. I'm going back. They're a part of me. Don't you think they're cool? It's all part of the wildfire. Brown chicken, I'm going to tell you something. I convert trolls. I convert trolls. I convert them. There's a guy here and stuff, right? He was like, tell me about MAGA. What do you think about MAGA? And I said, well, what do you think about MAGA? And right, I knew this guy was a troll, okay? So I was like, let's have fun with him. You have to play a game with them at times. Because they'll troll you and they'll say whatever. And I'm like, I know you're a troll. And they're like, what? And because they say certain things and whatever. And all of a sudden I said, let's just have a conversation. How is your day going? And they'll answer. Well, my day's going good so far. How's yours? Bam! I convert them. So if you have trolls in your stream, I'll convert them for nothing. Didn't he say he was... Yeah! Yep. The power of the queen. But we did have a good conversation after that. We were talking about Sound of Music, and all that stuff. You have to catch them off guard. And if they keep banging you and stuff, don't have any tolerance, just block them, Most of them are. And some, they just don't have any life, They want to get a rise from you and stuff and see what kind of reaction you give them, and, they get off on it. If you put yourself out there, you're going to get it. You just have to know how to deal with it. Because I know a lot of people that stream and they'll get trolls and they say, I can't deal with this. I can't do it anymore. It's too much. Yeah, and that's why you have moderators too. A lot of these big streamers actually pay for their moderators. Did you know that? A lot. You can find them on Fiverr for God's sake. You get paid. I don't know. They might not have any liberal side or Republican side. They just want to see how you react to things. That's all. The voice of Kiss. What are you talking? my God. Hold on. I'm getting... The voice of... Is it the guy I'm talking... Hold on. My brain's being fried right now with this heat. I think I know who you're talking about. I'm trying... I bet you, when I have time off and whatever, right, I'll go my studio, I'll look. I swear I know who you're talking about, though. Because he did go to the, he lives in Vegas, right? And yeah. You said the voice of Kiss. He lives in Vegas, right? That guy. I know who you're talking about. And he went to the last two concerts at Madison Square Garden. Really? Yeah. Look how, oh my God, oh my God. I look like a plump Jersey beefsteak tomato. Look at this. Wow. A Jersey beefsteak tomato. Look at that. Jesus. I know who he is. Oh my God. Eric Carr. I was a heavy metal drummer back in the 80s. My band was Vicious Bite. Okay? Hold on. I was a handful of female drummers back in the 80s. One of my best friends was Eric Carr from Kiss. And you know that. Yeah, and then Eric Singer took his place. What about Tommy Thayer? Oh, God. Hey, you and I can have some talks, man. You and I can have some talks. I'm hot. Oh, my God. I have to go inside because I'm yeah, I know, yeah. You and I swear we can talk about, oh my God, this is like, how do you feel about like Gene doing his be a roadie tour and you have to spend like $2,500 for that? Bullshit. That's how Gene is though. Right? That's how Gene is. Alright, I don't know how you subscribed. I don't know. See, when I'm on here on my phone, I don't get the trigger saying you subscribe or anything else and stuff. And I don't know how to... Yeah! He's a slut. I have stories about Gene. He is an arrogant asshole, okay? He really is. And he's a slob. Okay? You and I had to, because, yeah. A real slob. Gene Simmons compensates for a lot. If you know what I'm talking about. He does. Okay? But now, like, he's all softened a little bit and all that because a lot of people can't take his shit anymore with his arrogance and all that crap. Look at me. If I hold on, how do you now watch? I'm gonna. Hold on. It says remove as standard. Yo, I will figure it out. Okay. There's a lot of bands that I used to hang around with way back in the day and stuff. And I'm not, you know. Eric Carter's parents actually sold most of his stuff now. I look like, oh my God. I had a lot of fun times back in the day. I really did. Okay? Most of them were hazy and daisy and whatever. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad I got out of that when I did. I'm going to tell you this, guys. When you're in addiction, you know, when you're, you know, dabbling in stuff and whatever, yeah, there are going to be fun times. But along that wire, it's going to be tripped. And something changes. Yeah. Well, I don't know how do you do that? With the wrenches. But you and I have a lot to talk about, buddy. I'm serious. You and I have a lot to talk about. I'm down. I'll ask Dean how to do that. He would know. I love you, brother. Let me give you a hug before you go. Boy, we have a lot to talk about. Oh.